Hello everyone, I hope you all doing great. My name is Ayushi Sharma and I'm from Delhi branch of I.T.VEDANT. Under the valuable mentorship of Mrs. Nidhi Arora ma'am, I'm currently pursuing my Java full stack. Coming from a non-IT background and stepping into the world of technology has been both a challenge as well as adventure for me. However, thanks to Mrs. Nidhi ma'am, who is not just a wonderful teacher but also a great mentor, this journey has become so much smoother as well as more rewarding to me. She provides excellent guidance, making even the journey more complex and the concept is more easy to grasp. Her teaching methods are interactive and engaging, which motivates me and push my boundaries and learn the skills every day. I'm very excited to continue this learning journey as well as step forward to apply more skills in the real world. And now I'm going to explain you the topic stored procedure. So we're going to cover the topic stored procedure in SQL. A stored procedure in SQL is like a saved set of instructions or commands that you created once and used repeatedly. It's kind of like a mini program within the database. We can also say it is a group of queries. Instead of writing the code again and again, we just simply put into a stored procedure and call it whenever it needed. It saves times, of course, and reduces the chances of errors which make our system presentable. I made a PPT so that it is more clear to you guys. So here's the PPT, guys. The agenda of making this PPT is to give you a brief introduction to what the stored procedure is, the advantages of using stored procedure, and the basic question, what is the difference between functions and stored procedure? So what are stored procedure? As I already give a brief introduction. So let me continue. A stored procedure is a pre-compiled set of SQL statements that store in a database server. Think of it as a saved program that performs a specific task like inserting data, updating records, etc. It is reusable and they allow you to execute multiple SQL commands at once. So, of course, it saves our times. So here's a diagram, guys. These all are SQL statements, DDL command, DCL commands, DML commands, etc. So these commands stored in RDMS database, SQL in the form of SQL queries, and then they perform a task. We can use it again and again. So it saves our times and it reduces the chances of errors. So advantages of using stored procedure. Efficiency. They reduce the network traffic and improve performance as well as the SQL statements are processed on the server. Security. It provides a security. Access can be controlled. Okay, reusability. And the reusability is we can reuse it again and again. The major difference between stored procedure and function. This is a major question, guys. So what is functions? First we discuss. SQL Server provides functions. These are basically pre-built actions that performs calculations, manipulating the data, and return some result. At the most of the fundamental result, these functions simply just complex queries which automatically, repeatedly give some task. And these common SQL functions include string, numerical, and some data types. Okay, so a function always return a single value, but our stored procedure automatic complex operations and workflows. So it can it's choice, it's optional. It can return multiple results or single. Okay. In stored procedure, when we call the stored procedure, we simply write the syntax call procedure name and then procedure name which we said, and then the parentheses and semicolon. But in function, we don't use the call keyword, we use select. In stored procedure, there are three types of parameters: in, out, and in out. In is input, out is output, and these are the parameters. But in function, there's only one kind of parameter, which is input parameter. Stored procedure also allows TCL commands, transaction control like commit, rollback, but it functions, there's a limited transaction support. Okay, so I hope you are clear the difference between a stored procedure and a function. Let's go to an example. So if you need to calculate the square of a number in a function, it performs a single, or we can say it's a simple operation that returns a simple value, like 5 square is resultant to be 25. So functions are like basically a calculator, which I already said, a calculator which gives you a simple answer. Okay, this is the syntax, guys. Now let me give you a little short kind of example too. I have to ask you guys, if I need to create a customer list who bought a specific product, so should I make a function or a stored procedure? Let me know in the comment section. And in the end of the video, you definitely get the answer. So let's go to the uses. Use of a function. When you need a quick calculation or transformation that returns a single value, and stored procedure when you need just run the batch of the operations like updating records, managing, etc. Okay, function are basically typically used to SQL queries, which simply just an ideal data retrieval formatting. Okay, but stored procedure, on the other hand, are better suitable for executing complex flow works, and it is repeatedly usable. Okay, so conclusion is to wrap up the stored procedure and function. We all have their own strengths, and both are so like usable in our SQL. So stored procedure are great for complex logic, while function are best for returning the single calculated values. They both play essential roles. So thank you. That's all for the video. But this is not the end, guys. Now I'm gonna tell you how to create a stored procedure. The syntax is in the next part of the video. Now let me tell the answer which I asked the question. The question was if I need to create a customer table list. So of course I have to create a stored procedure so that I know that which customer bought a specific product. So instead of writing that code again and again and again, I just create a stored procedure and then call it. So whenever a customer gives its entry, I already get to know that this is the new customer and this and that. It makes our work so simple. Of course, it saves times because I don't need to write the query again and again. So it saves our time, reduce the chances of errors, because whenever I write two more, it of course gives me some errors, and it makes our system presentable. So guys, let's see the syntax. Here's the database which I already created, and this is a case study of hospital. So let's use this database. Now let's go to the end and create a stored procedure. So the syntax to create a stored procedure is we write the delimiter first and give it a symbol. For example, $2 signs. Okay. So before starting, let me tell you what is a delimiter. A delimiter is a kind of character or a sequence of characters used to separate statements, or we can say commands in a script. I'll tell you later why we use a delimiter. First, we create a procedure. So here's how we create a procedure. Write create procedure, then procedure name. For example, I'll write build data and then close it. And here's the keyword begin. And in between begin and end, we write our query. Like for example, select star from billing order by, let's suppose amount. Okay, order by amount. And here in the end, we just end our delimiter. So why we are ending this here? So this statement, which tells that select star from billing order by amount, have this semicolon. So this semicolon means end the statement. For the program, for its better understanding, it didn't end the whole query here. So we create the delimiter for the safe point. Then delimiter in the end and just the semicolon. So we have created a stored procedure. Let's check it. Okay. Now how we call a stored procedure? We call by just write call, then name of the procedure, bill data, and semicolon. And it's here, guys. Order by the amount, and here's the table. Let's create another stored procedure by the syntax is almost same. Okay, now let's create a parameter in it too. Delimiter, two hash lines, create procedure, get patient. Now we gave it a parameter. There are three types of parameter: in, out, and in out. Okay, so in parameter means input. We have to give the input. P name. Then the data type. Data type should be varchar. I want varchar. 50 is enough, guys. Then begin keyword. And in between these two, you have to write our select. The statement is select patient ID. Now I want the phone number, I guess. Okay, phone number. Phone number from the table name is patient itself. Patient where keyword is work as a filter. First name is equal to what area we created? P name. Okay. Then semicolon. That's enough. Delimiter and semicolon again. Let's execute this. Okay. Successful. As you can see, let's now call the stored procedure. Get patient. And in the brackets, we have to give the input. For example, I have a patient called Nidhi. Bracket close and semicolon. So let's see what's our phone number, guys. So here's the phone number. Of course, it's not a real phone number, but still, this is how in parameter works. Thank you for watching.